Hey YouTube, what's up? It's Annika the amputee, and it's been a while. Last week I was at Ski Spec, had a ton of fun. I posted about it a little bit on Instagram, so if you're not following me on Instagram, definitely check out, actually, I think it was mostly stories. I think I only have one video. Anyways, maybe I'll just put in some clips right here. Enjoy. But yeah, I was at Ski Spec last week and I had a ton of fun. As a lot of you know, I love snowboarding. That's my main sport. But as you also know, my legs haven't been fitting too well lately. And so on days that I went a little bit too hard, I wanted a break from wearing my leg. And that's when I did 3-tracking, which is the skiing on one foot. Highly, highly recommend. It's so much fun. It's definitely a challenge, but it's a great way to ski if you're not able to ski with a prosthesis, or even if you are and you just want to try something new. Anyways, today's gonna be a life update, which I'm sure you guys already know because that's what the caption of this, title. That's what the title of this is. I haven't done one of these in a while, and yes, I am sitting on my countertop in case you were wondering. It's a very comfortable place to be, and I'm an adult and nobody can tell me no. Yeah, I haven't done a life update in a while, so let's do that. I guess this is kind of gonna be like a 2022 recap because I moved to LA almost 12 months ago. Like, that's insane. I moved here in January of this year and we're halfway through December. Like, this is nuts. So I moved out to California, and honestly, I don't hate it as much as I thought I would. Like, yeah, traffic gets bad, but I don't normally have to be places at a certain time, so I can avoid traffic pretty easily. And if I do have to be somewhere at a certain time, then I just plan accordingly. So I know I'm at an advantage there. There's lots to do here. There's always something to do here. And if I think it's too hot here, then I'll drive a little bit north, or I'll drive to the beach or whatever else. Modeling is going very well. This year I have shot a ton of stuff, from commercials to I've done runway shows, I've done some print stuff, and all that's actually going really well, and I really think it's because I moved out here. If I was still living in Denver, would I have all these opportunities? Maybe, but you know, it is nice being here. So if I have an in-person audition, which there's not a ton of in-person auditions anymore, but if I have an in-person audition, I could just drive down the street and be there. I feel like so much has happened this year. Warrior Games, I went to the Warrior Games. That was awesome. I competed in 6 sports. I took home 10 medals. I did track, field, shooting, swimming, archery, wheelchair rugby, and then I was an alternate for seed volleyball. I ended up not playing, but anyways, did really good at that, to the point that I just recently got announced to go to the Invictus Games, which is like the Warrior Games, but it's internationals run by Prince Harry. Like, I'm super excited. Yeah, it's something I've always wanted to do since I lost my leg. It was one of my goals when I lost my leg, was to make it to the Invictus Games, and the fact that my name was on the list and I was one of 12 Marines that got picked. I believe there's 59 people on the team, and I was one of 12 Marines that got picked means so much, and I'm so excited, and I'm gonna be training so hard in these next couple months. It's going to be in Dusseldorf. It's going to be in Dusseldorf, Germany in September. So, I've been practicing my German. Ich heiße Annika. Ich habe eine Katze. Ich bin ein Schornsteinfeger. Nein. Ich bin eine Schauspielerin. Yes. And then since I've been out here, I've made some good connections. I've been taking acting class, which is going great, and I love my class. I've taken a couple, but the one I'm in right now, it's just a good group of people, and we do scene studies, so we just basically bring in a new scene every class, and yeah, it's a really good experience. Again, I don't hate being here as much as I thought I would. I still am not a fan of the weather, but it's cooling down. It's mid-December right now, and it's like in the 50s, so I'm all about that. Let's get into the not so great stuff. Mental health is rough. And unfortunately, for the last couple years, November and December have notoriously been my hardest months. I never really understood why. Like, I have some childhood stuff that we're not gonna get into right now, but this year it really hit me, because November 8th, 2017 is the day that they put me in a walking boot and they put me on light duty from the Marine Corps for the first time, and I never went back to full duty. And that was 5 years ago, which, I don't know, 5 years is kind of a significant date. At the time, they didn't know I had a tumor. They just thought I had a stress fracture. But the fact of the matter is, that's really when I was unable to be a Marine anymore. And because of that, I was never able to pick up class anymore. And because of that, I couldn't continue my job. I couldn't promote. I couldn't move forward in this career that I changed my entire life plan and decided that this is what I wanted to do. And so, yeah, it's hard. And then just add in a couple other stressors. And this has honestly been my worst season yet. And I don't like to show that very much just because, like, I'm on Instagram and TikTok and everything, and I'm such an inspiration, all this. And I understand it can be both. I can be an inspiration, but I can also still have human feelings and human emotions and go through stressful times. And I try to show that every once in a while, but I also want to be that positivity for people who are struggling. I don't always want to show the bad because the bad can get really bad and it can get scary. But I'm sharing this with you now because I want you to know that, like, even though social media and if you see me out and about, like, I may seem happy, peppy all the time, like, I do struggle. And it's hard not to think of the what ifs, and it's hard not to question your entire life's journey. But I'm also here to let you know that it does happen. And I understand. And I've been having issues with my prosthetic legs lately. Like, I haven't had a leg that fits honestly, truly well for about 1.5 years. And that's not necessarily the prosthetist's fault. Like, I was seeing one in Denver and I was having issues. And I moved to LA and I was having a lot of issues. And then now I'm driving down to San Diego and I'm still kind of having issues. And at some point, the pattern is not the prosthetist, the pattern is my body. And something that a lot of people don't know is prior to my leg being amputated, I had some doctors trying to diagnose me with something called CRPS, which is complex regional pain syndrome. It starts in the spinal cord and it just sends pain throughout your body, and your body does some weird things. And I don't really understand it, so, like, don't quote me on a lot of this, but I do know it's called the suicide disease. And I'm not saying that lightly because there is struggle that a lot of people go through because it is some of the worst pain that people can go through. And it's hard to diagnose because you can't just take a blood test and be like, oh, yep, you have pneumonia. Oh, yep, you have CRPS. It's not like that. It's based on symptoms. And the symptoms I had before were that I had a tumor in my foot. And it aligned with the fact that I had a tumor in my foot. But now that my amputation has been done and I don't have a tumor in my foot because I don't have a foot, I'm starting to have some weird symptoms again and I am scared. And, you know, at this point, I'm trying my best and I'm going forward and living every single day as best as I can. But I also understand not every day is going to be a good day. And I don't know, this is the first time I'm actually saying all of this out loud. I kind of feel like this is a video diary right now. This is kind of a bummer. It started so good. Now it's kind of a bummer. All right, we're gonna lighten the mood again because this is getting a little too down for me and I got places to do. Recently I was at a Lakers game and it was my first basketball game ever. Like, I've never been to basketball. My high school was an art school. I didn't even offer PE. So my buddy, because he knew I was struggling, invited me out to the game and I'm just out there having a good time. And I drank beer out of my leg and became a fan of the game. Because I was up on the Jumbotron and everybody was egging me on and it was a fun experience. But because of that, I've had a lot of articles come out about me, and most of them, actually 90% of them, I had no say in. It was kind of just like oh, this is what we saw, which is unfortunate because sometimes they get the story wrong a little bit. Like, I've seen some articles saying, like, I had cancer, which I never had cancer. And then I've had some articles saying that I'm an American hero, like, I'm an American hero for drinking out of my leg. That's like a Tuesday night party trick. Like, that has nothing to do with being a hero. But anyways, because of it, I've been getting a lot of publicity and doing interviews. I'm actually going down to Santa Monica to go do another news interview today, which is exciting. honestly, this is really good news because you never know who's going to see it. You never know if it's going to be a casting director or a producer or a cinematographer working on a shoot and they're like, wow, we need a female amputee, or we need a military amputee, and look, it says she's a model too. So I'm really hoping that this kind of projects me in the right direction, because like I said, things haven't been doing great, but I'm making the best of what I can. I'm still doing a ton of auditions, getting callbacks and getting put on hold, and just doing the best I can for myself and trying to progress myself and make myself better. And I've been, again, very active in sports and trying to train for Invictus now, which I'm so excited about. I'm sure there's stuff I missed, but I appreciate you sticking with me through all of this because I just appreciate you guys. Like, you guys are always so supportive, and even in my dark days, you guys have nice things to say. And I really appreciate that. And I do read all your comments. And I don't always get back to them just because life's a little crazy, but I do see them, and I do appreciate them, and I appreciate you. So with that being said, I am going to go get ready for this interview, and maybe you'll see me on the news. I love you guys.